This Tulip Street. Tacony? Mayfair? I don't know. I think Tacony. Let's say Tacony. Look at this. An AOH. Rick the Puppy. Shh. Officer J. McCluskey. Tacony Police Athletic Lead. He died at Tacony. Born in Tacony and died at Tacony. There's his little memorial. Oh boy, that's Irish. You can tell that's Irish. They got the Virgin Mary. They got the little cottage. I'm Irish, so I can make these jokes. Gotta tell you, I don't think these people like me, Rick the Puppy. You see, I'm a Freemason, and I had a friend who was a Freemason, and he was dating a girl, and her dad was part of that. Right? And or he's married to the girl, and then the guy, and he had to leave the Freemasons. He goes, I don't like to be part of that. And I think that has something to do with the Catholic Church not liking Freemasons. So, whatever. I see a lot. I was watching Shane Dawson. I was watching Shane Dawson podcast, and he was talking about the Freemasons. And they were talking like nobody really understands what it is, and people are like, it's like the Illuminati. And then Shane Dawson's brother was like, no, it's nothing like the Illuminati. They're two different things. This is what I think the Freemasons are. Ready? So we're just a bunch of guys, right? And like once a month we want to hang out. So we go hang out with our friends, and we try to. There usually is like a lecture about something, so you learn about something. And then you talk about the business of the lodge. Usually we help a charity. My lodge pays for a T-ball organization to play baseball in Frankfurt. We pay for the whole league: gloves, bats, balls. And so that's all it is. It's just a bunch of guys. It's kind of like a group. You look out for one another. You help each other out. And if you ever have, and another thing is too, a buddy of mine told me, because we're all getting up there in age. Like our ages are changing. We're going up higher and higher. And there's things that some of us are experiencing. And if you live in a house full of women, you can't really talk about these things because you don't know what's going on, So it's good to hang around with guys who are your age or older. You can learn from their experience too. I haven't gone to my lodge in like a year or two. Well, maybe even more. No, I was there last year. So, and but I don't think anybody in my lodge controls the world or anything like that. Really nice people doing really nice things, and so that's what I think about what Freemasons are. I tell you the truth, my whole thing about not going to lodge is because I'm having. You gotta believe in a universal power. Or, what's the term they use? Anyway, you gotta believe in God, and I'm not really 100% sure if that's something I believe right now, and I can't fake it. I can't be a fraud. I was going through this spiritual thing about we're going on a decade ago, and I was just doing all this soul searching. I was going to different churches, and I was going to different. Here's Our Lady of Consolation. Oh, that's a horrible name. And, here, Rick. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I just want to take a peek at see the church. I haven't seen that inside that church before. I don't know why. I like to see inside churches. I'm a weirdo. But, so anyway, one of those things, when I was going on the spiritual journey, I went to a bunch of different Christian churches. Methodist, Presbyterian, some other ones, like, I don't even know what the hell they were, like super churches. And I became real friendly with the pastor of the church. And I even became an elder. I was an elder of the church. Like, I was part of the things that I had a vote on thing. One time I was going to be on the Jackie the Joke Man show in New York City, and I skipped it because my church was getting ready to close down, and they had to have an important meeting, and they needed to have people who were new at the church to speak up to probably try to save the church. So I skipped on this really great opportunity to meet Jackie the Joke Man. But I really loved that church. And it wasn't the well, no, the church was great. Actually, the one church I liked was, I think it was Presbyterian. I really enjoyed the music. And then I watched the sermons, man. The sermons are when growing up, I was growing up Catholic, and I would listen to homilies, and I was watching this podcast, and I heard somebody say, you know, I was growing up Catholic. I never heard anything in a homily once that ever struck a chord with me. I never heard anything in a homily that made me get a feeling. And when I started going to other churches that weren't Catholic, I would actually, like, sometimes I would hear things that would motivate me, and it would make me feel good and make me feel positive, and I kind of believed in what I heard. But the only thing I couldn't do was and then I went to this born again Christian, like, academy for married fathers, and I was trying to figure out how to be a good example for my kids, and I went to this academy, and then 3 guys pulled me aside, and they said, "Have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life?" And I was like, "Nah." And they're like, "Well, why don't you know, if you just repeat after me, you know, you can be saved." And I was like, all right. And then the first thing was like, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God, something like that. And I was like, I don't believe that. I can't believe that. It doesn't make sense to me, you know? And if you believe it, it's fine, you know? It just doesn't click with me. And like, I started crying. I was like, you know, because I wanted this community, and I wanted to believe in something. And I want there to be an afterlife, and I want all these things. But just because you want something doesn't mean you believe in it, you know, or whatever. Like, I want the Phillies to win the World Series every year. It just ain't going to happen. It very rarely happens. So, you know, I had like this moment, and I just started crying, and I was with my pastor, and I had a really good friendship with him, and we would call and watch NASCAR together, and it just fell apart. It just fell apart. I just stopped. I couldn't go anymore because I didn't believe, and I felt like a phony. And that's kind of how I feel about being a Mason right now, but I might believe again, so I don't know. Oh, it's what a conundrum I'm in. And then after I went to those churches, I started listening to podcasts. And I was just listening to different religions and like 101s on how to be a Buddhist and how to be a Hinduist. And I looked into Hare Krishnas. And I kind of was into Zen Buddhism for a bit. It kind of makes sense to me. Come on, Rick the puppy. It kind of makes sense to me. Just like there's no real organized religion. It's just a philosophy on a way to live life. And just waiting for this train to go by. I'm going to be Adam the Woo for a second, if you don't mind. Adam the Woo, whenever he sees the monorail at Disney World, he lines up a perfect shot. I think this is the SEPTA train. This is the Tacony train stop. This is a regional rail train. You can take this train into Center City, Philadelphia. It'll cost you about $7. The perks about taking the regional rail train in Philadelphia is people don't piss and die and shoot up drugs and what else is there? It's not the Wild West. It's somewhat safe. So you can take that train into Center City, or you could take the L, where I've seen people die, piss, smoke crack, shoot up, smoke pot. I'll tell you what, I'm so used to people smoking pot on the L, it almost doesn't bother me. It's crazy, people smoke pot on the L, but they don't smoke, they'll do those vapes. Everybody does those stupid vapes. Yeah, but Zen Buddhism, it was like it's like a philosophy and the way life is, and all life is suffering. And there's other things too, but life is suffering, and it's all about how you manage that, and the less shit bothers you, the better off you are. I don't think that's anything close to it, but so I got this app where I track my steps, and last month I walked 250,000 steps, over 275,000 steps, and I had 2 days where I walked over about 15 miles. I did the Mummers Parade in January. And I did the Eagles tailgate after a Wings game. And yeah, it was pretty good. It was a good time. I like walking. I don't mind doing it while I'm doing it, but the thought of doing it, sometimes I'm like, on days like today, I'm like, I gotta take Rick for a walk. It's gonna be cold, so he's not gonna be able to get a decent walk for a few days. They say you can't walk your dog if it's below 30 degrees. They say if you walk them for more than a mile, it's bad for their pulse. I don't know if that's true, because I had a dog before this dog. I walked that dog every day. I walked that dog every day. Yeah, today we're 7 miles and a quarter. 7 1/4 miles. Means we'll probably end up at 8 miles today. We got coming up this weekend. The Philadelphia Wings are playing. They did a trade this week. I hope they get better, because my God, have they been horrible lately. And it's crazy. Like I really want them to do good. Check out this baseball field. I never played baseball. Come here, Rick. Where you going? I never played baseball in a field with a home run fence. In Philadelphia, most fields, they don't have a home run fence. No, it sucks. My vision is gone. I went to the Eagle Stadium today looking at the Super Bowl merch. I couldn't even read the price tag. And I tried to hit a wiffle ball last year and I couldn't even see it. It's over, folks. See, that's why I'm doing all this soul searching. I'm very close to death's door. Well, Rick, what'd you think, bud? That was a good walk. You happy?